Hello, this is Imran from Decode.com. Today we are going to learn how to create forms in Flutter. We will create a basic form with email address, password and repeat password, a standard small sign up form, and we will see how the forms can be created. After this, next video will be created to add the validation in that form, but in this lecture we will just limit us to form only. So this is the application that is freshly created in Flutter using Flutter create command, and it's standard app that comes with Flutter. So now I'm going to create a new form inside it without doing any refactoring. So I'm just going to remove this column because I don't need it here. Instead of that, I will add a card in fact, and inside that card I will add padding, and padding will be from all sides. Make it 20 pixels and give it a margin of 20. Add inserts dot all 20 as well. Remove the app bar. We don't need that as of now. App bar is this one. We can keep it as well, but I don't like it on sign up form at least. Okay, we don't need this floating button as well. I don't like this light gray color. I'm going to change it to something else. Background color to colors dot light blue. I like this one, so I'm going to use it as a background color here. Theme dot of background color. Save it. Now we have this beautiful small code inside it. Now we are ready to create the form. Child form, and inside form we are going to create column which will have the form elements. Now we are going to create few form inputs, so let's do that. Text form field. I just need a few options from them. From here you can see all of them. I just need value key email. First field is going to be email address. Decoration, let's give it some label. It's input decoration. Input decoration. Label as email. I think we need to give it direct label. Email, yes. So let's move on and create a method onSaved, because when we will save we need to store a value in a variable. So let's do that. Let's keep it this with same name, new value. Let me create a few variables up at the top. We don't need this counter thing. Email, initially it will be empty, var pass, initially it will also be empty, val repeat pass, it will also be empty. What's wrong with this? I have created a space, that's wrong. Okay, so now email will be new val. Okay, now let me copy it and do the same for other fields as well. Okay, this is pass, password, repeat pass, repeat password. Okay, now this thing is taking whole size on the screen. Let's handle that. It's because of this column, because by default column takes as much space as it can. So let's restrict it so it only takes the space that it needs. Main axis size, main axis size dot minimum. So now it looks better, much better in fact. Okay, we need to change them, pass and repeat pass. So basically this onSaved method will assign new values to these variables that we created above, so we can later do something with them. We can pass them to servers or whatever we want to do with them. So this onSave will be triggered when we will try to trigger it from some method after validation, but for now we will not go into the validation. We will just take the values and print them in the console. That's it. Let's keep doing. The basic form is created. We just need to create input field. We just need to create the submit buttons. So let me do that. Raised button, on pressed, call some function. For now keep it null, and its label should be submit, or in fact sign up. There needs to be some space between fields and this button. Sized box, height 10. 10 is less, let's make it 15. Looks better now. Now let's create this submit function so we can submit our values and print them inside console. Void submit func, that's it. Let's copy this name and put inside here like this, or just put it directly here without these brackets. If we put these brackets, this means that function will be immediately called, but we don't need that. We need that when onPress will be clicked, then this function should be called. So basically here we have just placed only reference to the function, but not the function actually. We are not calling it, but it will be called on onPressed, or we can call it this way because it is now put inside this arrow function, and when this onPressed will be pressed, this arrow function will be called and it will be immediately triggered. If we do it here like this, it will be wrong, it will not be called. Okay, so I prefer this way. So this is it. Let's test it. Let's rebuild it first, and we can test it once there is something to print. So let's print these values: email, password, and repeat password. I am printing them all inside one string, so we can see it in one line. Okay, let's rebuild it, and now the values should be printed. They will not be printed inside terminal, but we need to go to debug console. Now we need to put some values inside here: test1 at test.com, test123, test123. Sign up. The values are not coming. Can you judge why they are not coming? Because they are getting saved here. This is because the state of the form is not maintained. And why I did it like this, I did it intentionally because you know how the values are going to be binded inside forms. So we need to create a global key to tackle this situation. Var form key equal to global key of form state type, and we need to attach this key with form like this. And now we should be able to get these values after this. Form dot current state dot save. We need to first save those values, then we can access them. So let's do it. Rebuild it. Test1, AAA, AAA. So now you see the values are here. But if I comment it, rebuild it, and submit those values again, let's see what happens. So they are empty. So we need to save them first before accessing it. So now submit again. I did not rebuild. I should do that first, but I don't think so. It requires that. It can rebuild on save. So it is now working again. This was about the forms. So this is it about the forms. One thing that I am going to do here, I'm just going to obscure this password input because that should not be visible. So there is an option, obscure text. We need to mark it as true. Obscure text, true. Save and done. So we no more can see these values, but we can definitely fetch them inside code. So this is it about the forms. In next lecture, I will be discussing about form validation, how we can do that. So see you in next lecture. Bye till then.